Hey guys, it's your boy Vex again. We are back with the Ultimate Racing League's GT7 Super Formula Series. This is round 2. So after round 1, obviously Coca took the win in that one and fastest lap. So he is at the top of the table currently with 23 points. But we actually had an announcement that he won't be here for the rest of the season. So it's all on the rest of the field. So Chuck is currently in second with 17 points. We've got Brian Moncani in third with 15 points. We've got Wayne G in fourth with 13 points. Mawson's in fifth with 12 points. Vexed is sixth with 11 points. Dizzy Rip is in seventh with 10 points. Graham Ali is eighth with 9 points. And Ginger is in ninth with 8 points. Well, that will all be... I'm sure that'll all change after this round because we have got a few returning faces, and as I say, there was a couple, well, one that isn't going to be racing for the rest of the season, and we are missing Wayne G this evening. But we've had the guys out for qualifying. After qualifying, this is how the grid stands. We've got Brian Moncani on pole. We've got Molson there in second place. Vexed is in third. We've got Ice Chand in fourth. Asbo's fifth. We got Palmer sixth. Gary Smurf, he's seventh. Dizzy Rip is 8th, we got Graham in 9th, Ginger is 10th, and we've got a debut from Nath, that's Nathan Rombouts, I want to say, one of Brian's fellow compatriots. So without further ado, we shall get into this race. Strangely, we actually didn't have the lights there. Molson managing to take the lead off the start-finish. Ice Chand. Oh, Ice Chand's gone for a late move up the inside there. I think Vex actually running into the back of Molson as he got caught out a little bit by Ice Chand. Ice Chand. He took the lead of the race. Brian Moncani's moved through to first place now. Molson dropping down to third. Vex is down to fifth. He's back up to fourth again. So Brian Moncani now looking to try and break away from the rest of the field. Obviously only the opening lap, so everyone should stay fairly bunched up. Molson doing all right at the moment. He's managed to get back past Ice Chand. Ice Chand is obviously in the Red Bull. We've got Vex there in the Alpha Tauri. He's actually got his number on display this week. Slightly different live read. Alpha Tauri. All due to being able to get the number placement. We've got Palmer there in the Ferrari. He's in 5th place currently. His teammate Asbo is there in 6th. Asbo car number 25. We've got Dizzy Rip is currently 7th place, being hounded by Graham Ali. They were having a great little battle, weren't they, last week around Deep Forest. Graham actually taking a bit of a deeper line there. Looks like it's dropped him off the back slightly. He's now under pressure from Nathan. Ron Bouts is trying to go down the inside. He's going to have the inside for turn 1. We'll start on board with these two as they come up to turn 1, see if he manages to get the move done, and he has. I think he's gone through fairly easily. In the background there as well, we've got Ginger, or was it Graham Ali coming past Ginger? In fact, I think it was Ginger coming past Smurf. Smurf is... No, Smurf's at the moment. He's into the barrier, so Ginger has got a bit of breathing space now. He can work on the rest of the field. So Brian Moncani still leader of the race. Yeah, quite a strong round, didn't he, in the first one? Obviously only managing to make it third, but he looked strong all evening. He's looking strong again this evening. So we've got the closest battle at the moment, I think, is between Molson and Ice Chand. Ice Chand picking up a slight 0.5 second penalty. That will be for track limits. He's also being hounded by Vexed, although Vexed has dropped slightly off the back of Ice now. So Ice with a little bit of breathing space. You see Vexed there as we look back. Now Ice is going to lose this momentum, isn't he? Is Vex going to be able to come past him? I don't think he is. I think he's going to close that gap up again though. It's going to be right on the back of him again, isn't he? He must be in the suck zone now. Surely. Ice thinking about covering off the inside there, it looked like, but not actually having to do so. Vex wasn't quite close enough at that point. Raj actually looking fairly comfortable at the moment. So Iceman Chand living up to his name currently. Big lock up though there. There was some smoke coming off of that tyre. I think Bex was saying that was one of the corners that he was also having the same, so he was having to brake a lot lighter through there so as not to lock the brakes up, lock the wheels up, even tyre. And in fact, I think Vex has had a moment. He's dropped off the back of Ice Chan now, and Palmer is through to 4th place. Palmer with a 0.5 second penalty. So where is Vex? Vex now under trouble. He's now under trouble. The rest of the field, they have caught up with him. The guys that are on the mediums. He looks like he's got damage on that car as well. Asbo trying to go up the inside there, looking like he nearly got it done. Also with the pressure from Nath there as well, Ron Bouts. He's trying to go around Asbo's outside. He's going to serve that penalty. That's going to allow Nathan through, so he can continue to chase Vexed. And we've got a few other people making some moves in the background there as well. Dizzy Rip coming through. Asbo trying to keep Graham Ali back there behind him. Graham trying to take the inside line here. Is he going to get it done? Oh, I think he might. He hasn't, but we've got another Ferrari off, so that was Palmer. Palmer having a moment there. Palmer into the barrier. He's going to rejoin in 10th. Smurf a little way off the back of the field. He's got some work to do to catch up. Brian Carney currently with the fastest lap for 1:23.8. He's got a decent bit of breathing space now over Mawson, so not having to worry about Mawson trying to send it up the inside, or at the moment I think they're probably going to be trying to work on that tyre wear anyway. Obviously with the new format it is now 5 times tyre wear, 3 times fuel. The refuelling speed has been upped, and obviously it's not open tyres anymore, so you are allowed to use 1 set of each compound, and mediums is mandatory. So if you wanted to, you could run mediums from the start and try and eke them out all the way to the end of the race, but you'd have to fuel save very voraciously. And I think it wouldn't really pay off, because I think your pace would be too slow. Obviously you wouldn't have to stop, but I don't think it would really help too much. So I think most of the guys probably going to be running softs mediums or medium softs. As we can see, the front of the field currently they are out on softs. Molson still within a couple of car lengths of Brian McCartney. He's trying to not let him get away. I think I'd maybe be making some use of my ERS to try and keep that gap. Molson looking very clean and consistent at the moment. Ice Chand is still there in 3rd place. He's got a nice bit of breathing space now over Vex. Vex was right with him, but he had a moment somewhere. Was Chand as there. Chand sporting the Red Bull Racing livery. We've got Vex starting to try and close that gap again, but he's got a little bit of work to do, hasn't he? But he has got a nice gap now to Nathan, who is currently in 5th place. Obviously Nathan's debut this evening. Brian McCartney's fellow countryman. Doing well at the moment. I don't think he qualified too well, so he's come through the field and he's currently sat in 5th position. That is a top 5 finish if he keeps it, obviously being a 50-minute race. We're only 8 minutes in, so we have another 42 to go. We've got Asbo, a returning Asbo. Couldn't make the first round, but he's here for this one. And in fact, if we had, well, if the amount of people that had signed up for the Super Formulas turned up as we were predicting, then we would have had 2 lobbies, and Asbo obviously was going to head up lobby 2. But he's not having 2 this evening, so he can stay in here with all of us lads. I think this is how the season will probably go. I think we've got a couple more people we were waiting to get back off holiday or whatnot. So we may have a full grid at some point within the season. Oh, and Asbo has a moment. That's allowed Dizzy Rip through. Dizzy Rip. He's in the Williams. Him and Graham have been having a brilliant battle, haven't they? In both rounds. In the first round, they were having a right mammoth battle, and here they are at the moment. Graham not letting Dizzy get away from him. Actually, Dizzy making his debut with the Super Formulas last week. I think he's probably definitely feeling a lot more comfortable in that car now. Graham, he's there in the Alpine. Massive improvements from Graham. Obviously he looked a little bit like a fish out of water, didn't he, in the first series, but at the moment he's definitely looking like he's found his feet with the SF23. Obviously these lobbies as well are balance of power, no tune. The only tuning we allow in these is brake balance. Palmer is now back up to 8, so Palmer returning as well. He was present, wasn't he, in the first series? He couldn't make the first round of this one, but he's here now. Sporting that Ferrari livery. Car number 16. Then we've got Smurf. Smurf finding his way back up to 9th place. So he's kept his head down, he's kept in it, and he's managed to make up a few positions. So Asbo is behind him now. He's now down to 10th, and Ginger is in 11th. So Asbo, we caught that moment, didn't we, that Asbo had? I'm not sure what happened to Ginger. I think I can only assume that he had a moment as well. Or it could have been possible track limits. As we see Asbo actually carrying a penalty there for track limits. I'm pretty sure I know which sector that was from as well. It's a very fast sweeping left-hander as it goes into the right, real fast right-hander up the hill. And if you get that, if you get your wheels just a pixel over on the left too much, then it will slap you with a penalty. Obviously not quite as strict as real world. That might be a penalty there for Gingy. He had all 4 wheels over the white line. He's definitely taken an interesting line. And actually he's not picked up a penalty there, so maybe they've just given him a warning. Perhaps he'll get the three strikes and then he'll get black and white flagged. Meanwhile, Brian is out at the front. He's still managing to put in a commanding lead at the moment. Still the fastest guy on track for 1:23.385. Obviously sporting the Mercedes Petronas livery. Doing a bit better than Mercedes are this current season. In fact, we might even go aboard and share this lap with Brian. So as he comes through turn 1, he's kept it in 3rd there, keeping the car nice and stable. And this is the left-hander here. I say to people, a little lift off there just to get the car turned in, straight back on the power. Obviously if you cut that left a little bit too much, it will slap you with a penalty. Down to 3rd here, braking nice and smoothly so as not to lock them wheels up. way up to 6th, but then the hard braking zone, down a 2nd. Oh, he's actually down to 1st. And then up to 3rd. Yeah, he's going to keep it in 3rd through this windy sector here, just to keep the car settled. And again, 3rd through this corner. Back up to 4th. And then 3rd for the final turn. As you see, Brian's keeping the car very stable. Try not to scrub them tyres too much. And that was a lap with Brian McCartney. That was a 1:24.7. So a very respectable lap. Mawson still there in 2nd place. You can still see Brian McCartney up ahead. He's trying to maintain that gap. Not used much of his ERS yet, so maybe saving that for his 2nd stint. Maybe he'll be able to do a bit more work and try and start challenging Brian for the lead. And Ice Chan still in 3rd, a little bit of no man's land at the moment. It's not really, he's got a bit of work to do, hasn't he, to try and catch up to Mawson up ahead. It's looking like he's used a lot more of them tyres. That front left, you can see on the, as the car's driving around there, looking very heavily grained. Definitely suffering with some graining, some deg issues. Maybe locking that front left up a little bit more than he would have liked. See how many laps he can make these tyres last. I think this may be the last one that Chan feels comfortable on these tyres. Not entirely certain. We'll wait and see. So nice and smooth through there, no lock-ups. You see Vext has started eating into that gap now as well. He's starting to catch up to the back of Ice Chan. Still a fair few car lengths behind, but looks like he is slowly starting to reel Chand in. I think this next corner, no. See a very heavy graining on that front left now of Chand. Going to be starting to feel that tyre wear, I'm sure. His other 3 tyres look pretty good though, relatively. And you can see Vext is starting to creep into the shot there. Is this going to be where Ice Chan pits? I think it might be. In fact, no, he fancies another lap. He does fancy another lap, so doing well at the moment. Obviously you can see Vext has looked after his tyres a bit better than Chand. He's got a bit more grip left on them softs. 17 minutes in now. Lap 13. I fancy Vext. Fancies the overcut on Chand. I think he thinks he's close enough. I think he thinks he's saved enough of the tyres, and look, that gap has come down quite considerably now. He has definitely got Chand in his sights now. You can see there actually, Veg's tyres don't look half as bad as what Chan's did when we were on board with Chan, so having a bit of a moment out of the exit there, does Chan. So Vexed is now well and truly on the back of him. He's going to be in that slipstream. I think Chan is going to peel off into the pits, and he does. So Vex staying out for the overcut. How much of a gap can he create now to Ice to be able to secure that third position, as long as he doesn't have any mistakes? He's got a nice gap now back to Graham. So Chand, he's got some new tyres. Where is he going to come out? I think he's going to lose that position to Graham, so Graham has moved through now. Graham up to 4th place. I think Chand's going to come out just behind. There he is, he's going to get taken by Rombout. Rombout's, no, not quite close enough. So Chan, still currently 5th place. He's actually gone for racing hards. It's an interesting strategy here from Chan. Maybe he didn't fancy the mediums to take him to the end of the race, so he's put the hards on. Or maybe just not quite understanding the tyre rules this time round. In fact, he did tell me after he thought he had to run the hards as well as the mediums, so Ice. Oh no, Ice with a big moment. That's going to cost him. Rombouts is going to go through. Is he? He's had to take quite a deep line. That's always put him off the track. And he's had a spin, so no, Ice Chan managing to keep that 5th position for the meantime. So we've got Brian Mancani still currently the race leader. We've got Moulton in 2nd place. Vexed is up to 3rd. Graham is there in 4th. We've got Ice Chan 5th. Palmer, he's currently sat in 6th, so he's managed to get past Rombouts. Rombouts dropping a few positions after that moment. And Gary Smurf. Gary come from the back of the field. He's up to 7th now. He's looking like he's on a bit of a charge at the moment. As Rombouts dives into the pits, he's going to take on a fresh set of, I imagine, mediums, as he's on softs at the moment. Dizzy Rip now onto the back of Smurf, currently 8th place. Obviously well into the crossover period now, where the mediums should start coming into their effect. The guys that are on the softs will start to dive into the pits and get rid of them, and probably take on a fresh set of mediums or hards, as Chan did. Asbo currently 9th place. He's got a bit of work to do to get onto the back of Dizzy Rip, as we see Vexed is now into the pits. I think he's going to lose that position to Graham. I think Graham will move through to 3rd place. But Graham's still yet to pit, he's on mediums. Ginger up to 10th. So he's managed to get past Ron Bowles as well. Ron Bowles went into the pits, didn't he? He's on a fresh set of mediums now. He's going to be putting them through their paces. He should have the pace advantage over the guys up ahead of him, who are on, definitely not on fresh mediums. They're going to be on heavily worn mediums. Ron Bowles actually goes deep again. He's gone off again. He's going to have to watch. He's going to be getting blue flagged, and Moulson moved through easily, so he stayed out wide to allow Moulson through. So no trouble there for Moulson. So Brian Mancani still well and truly in the lead of the race. He's still got tread left on them tyres, so he's done pretty well to look after them. The car between him and Moulson is Ginger. So we see Moulson there. He is on very heavily worn softs now. He's made them last a lot longer than Bex did, so well done there to Moulson. Obviously not getting in a lot of practice before this round. Still up there in 2nd place. Absolutely shredded that front left now though, hasn't he? Should we try and get a better graphic. You can see the grain in there, or you could. I think the better shot for it actually is it this one? As Ice Chan now dives into the pits, I think he's going to be getting rid of them hards. He'll be taking on a fresh set of mediums. He's realised that they're too slow, or they're not too slow, but I feel like he feels that he's not getting the pace on them, so, or maybe just making sure he's got the usage out of the way, even though he didn't actually need to. So Graham's up to 3rd place, still out on the mediums. I fancy he's probably going to take him to the 30-minute mark. Graham looking really strong at the moment in that Alpine. I know I mentioned it a few times in the previous season. I thought we were going to see good things from this guy, and he looks like he's found his feet now, doesn't it? Currently sat in 3rd place for Graham. That'll be a great finish if he manages to pull it off. I think maybe fuel might be a factor. He may end up pitting once he gets to the end of that fuel tank, as it looks like it's got a little bit overcast out there around Fuji, so maybe going to see a little bit of weather, maybe a bit of a weather front inbound. So Brian McCartney finally into the pits. I don't think Moulton is close enough to be able to take advantage of that. I think Brian with too much of a gap now. I'm going to stay on board with the Aston Martin though, and just see how close he does get to Brian as he comes out the pits. He is coming around the final turn now. Brian has put some fuel in that car. It's going to be a close one, isn't it? Brian, he's finished fueling that car, so he is going to be coming out now. And yeah, he wasn't in any danger, was he? Moulton was closing that gap, but Brian's definitely got out way in time to keep the lead of the race. And keep that gap, most importantly. So Moulton is going to try chipping into that gap now. Graham's still doing a fantastic job in 3rd place. He's actually been putting in fairly consistent 126s on the mediums, which is to be expected. 125s, 126s is standard, I think, around here. We've got Vex there in 4th place. He's trying to put the work in, try and get onto the back of Graham again. He's now on a fresh set of mediums. Definitely got enough fuel to take him to the end of the race. Just wants to make sure he doesn't have a moment like he did towards the start. That definitely cost him, didn't it? He would have still been up there, I think, challenging Moulton and Brian, but he was on a little bit on the back foot a little bit, wasn't he, after that moment? We've had a few people having a few moments this evening. Obviously the front two doing really well and not struggling too much. Palmer now up to 5th place. He's had a few moments, hasn't he? We definitely caught him have a few moments. See if he manages to get through turn 1 unscathed. Yeah, and he does. little bit unsettled through that last sector. Actually not used any of his overtake yet, so maybe he's saving that for his soft stint. As is Dizzy Rip. Dizzy Rip also choosing not to use any of that overtake yet. Dizzy Rip doing well at the moment, he's up to 6th place. I think that's courtesy of Chand's pit. Chand is back out on fresh mediums now. He's definitely got enough fuel, hasn't he, to take him to the end of the race. So we are just about to hit the 30-minute mark. So there will be another 20 minutes left of this GP. Ice Chand having a couple moments himself, which I think hasn't helped him too much. He's going to take that position away from Palmer there and move up to 6th place. So that's another position gained. He may still be able to catch Dizzy Rip yet. And if Vext has a moment, he should surely catch Vext as well. So your top 6 currently are Brian McCartney, still race leader. Molson is in 2nd place. We've got Graham still in 3rd. Vext is still there in 4th. We've got Dizzy Rip 5th. Ice Chand is 6th. Ron Bounce, he's come out in 7th. I think he pitted quite early, didn't he? So getting the overcut on some of the other guys. Is he going to have enough fuel to take him to the end of the race? Or will he have to do a splash and dash? Smurf, he's now on fresh softs. He's currently in 8th. He's got Asbo for company. No, sorry, Palmer for company as well. I just saw the red Ferrari livery and didn't quite see the name above the car. But Smurf doing well at the moment, isn't he? Back up to 8th. Trying to keep Palmer behind him. Palmer's doing really well at the moment though. He's looking quite fast on them softs. Oh, Smurf has a moment. That's going to cost him. That's going to allow Palmer through, and he takes that position away quite easily. So Smurf just dipping a wheel on the grass there. Got the car really unsettled. Back down to 9th. Ginger on very, very heavily worn mediums now. I imagine this will be where he heads into the pit. Dizzy Rip's gone in, and yeah, Ginger is in. Brian McCartney was looking like he was going to follow him there, but I think he was trying to take the advantage of that slipstream. So Asbo should surely go through and take them positions away from Dizzy and Ginger. Although no, I think Dizzy may come out ahead. Asbo is now on fresh softs. He's got a full tank of fuel, just under. Definitely enough fuel to take him to the end of the race, and he's taken that position away from Ginger. He's up to 10th place. Ginger dropping to 11th. Oh, Brian McCartney absolutely smoking them tyres there as we go on board. Graham is into the pits now. Vext has taken that position. He's managed to get the overcut done. I did say I thought that was what he was searching for, and he's managed to do it. Molson still currently in 2nd. He's coming up to Dizzy Rip now. Just see the Williams of Dizzy up ahead. I think Dizzy must have crossed that penalty line, across the pit entry line, because he's got a whole 3 seconds worth of penalty there. That's unlucky, Dizzy. So Molson still 2nd place. Doing all he can at the moment to try and close that gap to Brian, but Brian is way up the road now, isn't he? Vext, he's up to 3rd. He's got Ginger now for company, just up ahead. Obviously Ginger probably will be getting blue flagged, so I imagine he will get out of the way as soon as Vext gets close enough. Obviously not really close enough at the moment to be an issue, so he can continue racing. think Vex possibly hoping for some slipstream off of Ginger up ahead. But also not close enough on that currently. We've got Ice Chan now in 4th place. He's managed to get past Graham, but Graham, it looks like he's bearing down on him in the background to come down the start finish straight for the 24th time into turn 1. Ice has kept it nice and calm through turn 1. Nice through there as well. See if he locks that tyre up again down here. He's got away with it that time, not locking that front left up. Looks like we see some quite heavy graining already on the tyres of Chand. We've got Graham. Graham is now bearing down on him on them racing softs. Is Graham going to be able to get past Chand? Possibly the closest battle on track at the moment. Ice Chan and Graham, 4th and 5th. Graham should technically have the advantage with them softs. Obviously Ice is on a couple of lap old mediums now. Graham's on relatively new softs. I think he's only done a lap or 2 on them. As he does close right up through turn 1 again. Oh, Ice Chan, he's had a bit of a slow one there. Graham's closed right up onto him now. He's trying to go up the inside. Ice Chan is holding it there though. They've both got equally good exits through that last turn. Is Graham going to send it here? No, not quite close enough that time. But Chan's gone really deep. That is going to allow Graham through, isn't it? No. Chan's still holding on to that 4th position. Some great racing from these two at the moment. Chan doing all he can to hold on to that 4th place. Graham looking like he has got the tyre advantage for sure. Now is Graham going to be able to dispatch Chand and then maybe start trying to work on that gap to Vex? I think Vex may be a little bit too far up the road. And he's going to get that move done on Chand. Is Chand going to have an answer for him though? Just see Graham just edging ahead. Oh, Chan moves over to the inside. Is he going to be able to brake later? Not that time round. Come on, Chan, stick with him. You can do it. Cracking move there from Graham though. He just waited for the start finish, used the last of his overtake to get him past Chan. Got the job done. Oh, we did see a puff of smoke there. Chan locking that wheel up into that last turn as they come down the hill into that left-hander. Very easy to do. So it's become a little bit of a procession now, hasn't it? But still some cracking racing, some cracking battles on track. As we've got Brian Marcani coming up to lap one bounce again. Sapara's in 6th place. He's got Nathan Rumbounce. He's behind him in 7th. With Brian Marcani for company. Brian Marcani is first. Nathan will be getting blue flag, but he's not causing any issues at the moment, and in fact Brian manages to get through easily as Nathan goes a little bit deep for that last turn. But Smurf is in 8th still, but he has managed to close that gap now to Nathan. What can he do? can go on board for just a second. He has used quite a bit of them softs now. 12 minutes to go, just under. On board with Dizzy. Yeah, definitely that corner there that I think a few of the guys were having some trouble with. Asbo, he's there in 10th place. Asbo, I think, having a few moments on the mediums. He's now on a fresher set of softs. Obviously, he's done a few laps on them now. He's trying to close that gap with Dizzy Rip. He has got a bit of work to do. I think that was Dizzy we just saw on the graphic there on the top right, going across the start-finish. Asbo is just approaching it now, so Dizzy would be going into turn 1. And then Ginger currently in 11th. Ginger actually stretching that gap over Vex, or as Vex backed off slightly. Ginger still in 11th place. The car behind him is Vexed. That is why he's getting blue flagged, but they put out the blue flags very prematurely on GT7. So actually not in any trouble of slowing Vexed down at the moment. Unless he has a moment himself, which he very nearly did there. But no, he's done really well that time round. He didn't take that deep line that we've seen him take on a couple of previous laps. So yeah, doing well at the moment, Ginge. He's managed to, in fact, he's managed to start creeping up onto the back of Asbo. So maybe he'll still be able to salvage a position if Asbo's not careful, because Asbo's got a bit of work to do, hasn't he, to get onto the back of Dizzy. So Brian still well and truly in the lead of the race. The car behind him is Mark Palmer, so Palmer getting lapped by Brian. Obviously this is the first round for Palmer. He missed Deep Forest, so probably just trying to get the grips with the car at the moment. Oh, and there's definitely moisture on track now, so lads are going to have to be very wary of that dry line and try not to stray off it. Brian McCartney actually starting to creep up onto the back of Ice Chan. So Brian with some absolutely blistering pace tonight. I was trying to do well to try and stay with him, try and take the advantage of that slipstream and maybe creep onto the back of Graham again. I think Ice has maybe used up all of his overtake though. I see the light on the back of his car flashing there. So Mawson still sat in second. He's now got Gary for company. Gary's there in 8th. He's not managed to get past Ron Bounce, who was up ahead. It was looking like he was starting to catch him, but he must have had another moment somewhere. Vexed. He's still there in 3rd place. He was catching up to Ginge, wasn't he? But he's now starting to catch up to Dizzy, I think it is. I think that is the Williams of Dizzy up ahead. So yeah, not in any position to be challenging the top 2, but a podium finish. I think Vex will be happy with that if he manages to keep it there. Graham, absolutely cracking race from Graham this evening. I think he would have liked to have finished on the podium. He'd like to have broke into that top 3 slot, but I think he'd be happy with a 4th place. Still some decent points on offer, and he has put on a cracking display, hasn't he? So 5 minutes left. Chand is still there in 5th place. Although it definitely does look like he's used a lot more of them tyres than some of the other guys, and it's looking like Palmer has started creeping up onto the back of him. Will Chand be at risk of losing that 5th position to Palmer? Palmer is on racing softs. So Chand now holding on to 5th for dear life. I think Palmer is going to be using that ERS as he comes down to start finish. No, he's actually not, so maybe feeling like he's not close enough yet to go for a move, but he could have closed that gap, couldn't he? And you can see Ron Bounce there, just coming across the start and finish line as well. That's 7th position. So these guys are all still fairly close to each other. Palmer still trying to close that gap to Chand. That may end up with a penalty there. Although it looks like he's got away with it. And he's managed to close that gap again. I think this might be where we see it come now, down into this heartbreaking zone. Turn 5, is it? 4 or 5? Still not quite close enough. Chand doing really well at the moment to stay ahead. He's trying to keep that Red Bull in front of Palmer's Ferrari. Doing a great job at the moment. Oh, he has a massive twitch there. That was a massive twitch from Chand. Is that giving Palmer the momentum? I think Palmer getting a bit of wheel spin there on the exit of that final turn. Will he use the ERS this time? No, he does not. 3 minutes left, just under 2.5 minutes. So Ron Bounce up to 7th. He was sat in 5th at one point, wasn't he? Or 6th, so still not a bad result. Has he got enough fuel? Crucially, not too sure. Smurf, Gary Smith, he's still there in 8th place. He was trying to work on that gap, wasn't he, to Ron Bounce up ahead, but I think maybe he's starting to feel the tyre wear a little bit now as well. You see on the graphic on the bottom left there. Very heavily worn softs. Asbo back up to 9th place. He's managed to get past Ginge and Dizzy now. I think Dizzy must have had a moment somewhere, or maybe he had to pit again. I don't know. I don't know if he underfueled the car. We didn't catch what happened. I didn't see anyone on the graphic on the left there saying that they'd gone into the pit, so maybe just having a bit of a moment. Ginger also suffering with some really heavy tyre wear. And Dizzy there in 11th. Definitely got a lot more meat on them tyres than Ginge, hasn't he? So I wonder if he will be able to, in fact, get past Ginge. Ginge now getting blue flagged by Vexed. And Vexed has closed right up onto him now. He's going to have to stay ahead or pull over. As we're coming to the last 20 seconds of this race. I think Brian Marcani has just gone across the start finish. No, he hasn't, but he will do. I think he's going to get to do a victory lap. And he does. So the next closest person would be Mawson. I think this is going to be Mawson's final lap. So yeah, there you go. Mawson, second place. That's a great second place there for Mawson. He'll be happy with that. It's a decent podium. So Mawson second, Vexed. Oh, Ginge still is at risk of getting in the way there a little bit, isn't he? Although Vexed has finally managed to get through quite easily. That's going to be third place there for Vexed. He'll be dead happy with that. Graham. What a fantastic drive tonight from Graham. He's come on leaps and bounds, hasn't he? From since when he first joined with us. So give it up for Graham, everyone. Oh, that's a great finish for him there. Fourth place. Palmer, he's going to bring home fifth. Ice Chand is sixth. Nathan Rombouts is seventh. We've got Gary Smith in eighth. Asbo is ninth. Ginger is 10th. Dizzy Rip finished 11th. And then we'll go on board with the race leader, Brian. As he comes up to finish his final lap, he managed to do 36. Everyone else, 35 laps. So there you go. And I think that will be, or that will mean that Brian is going to take over the lead at the top of the table. So great race there from Brian, leagues ahead of everyone else. Well, that was round 2, guys. That was Fuji, and I will be back next week with round 3, which is in fact Laguna Seca. So that'll be an interesting one, won't it? I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and I'll see you next time. Good night.